Hello! Sulphur Memories Alchemist 031 is out now, both on itch.io and on Steam. This right now was the most important piece of information in the whole video. I have a lot to say about this update, but really, if you're interested, you should just go play it instead. All the links are in the description. Still here, huh? I'm glad. Don't forget to see the game later though. First of all, I'd like to say it was quite a journey. This update is easily as large as either of my previous ones. I know I took my sweet time with it, but what matters is we got there. I am completely exhausted from the weeks of development, testing and preparing the release. There have been days where I wouldn't do anything but work on the game. So again, I hope you give the game a fair chance, and come back to tell me all that you think of it, while I promise to listen. One more thing to mention is that of course the development is far from over. The game is only in early access so far, and will be there for, by my estimates, a couple of years. Now to the changes. A lot of what I'm going to show now I already mentioned in my previous devlogs, so I will not be going into too much detail here, and if you ever want to learn more, simply go back to one of the previous videos. There's quite an extensive catalog here on my channel. There's been a few changes to the distribution, aside from the obvious fact that I'm on Steam now. Debian Linux and OS X got their dedicated builds, so you won't have to jump through any hoops like installing the engine, and can just run the app normally. The old method of installing LOF and running the project is still available, in case something goes wrong, or if you're running non-Debian Linux. Bad news is, both of these new builds are only available on itch so far, since I couldn't make either work for Steam. OS X app, in particular, is, let's call it, less than official, since I'm not a Mac user myself, and that makes creating an official build a lot more difficult than it should. It's still of course malware free, just like the rest of them, but be aware that Mac will yell warnings at you for trying to run it. It's been a few years already since I made the water shader, but the experience still haunts me. To think that I would decide to improve it. Yet here it is. I present you the water glimmer. Here, these sparkles. They can be seen on all water surfaces and depend on ambient lighting. And I'd rather not get into details on the kinds of ancient alien magic that I had to invoke in my code for this effect to work. Another very cool feature is particle effects on heat as well as when harvesting. They appear for pretty much every object in the game, and there's a lot of variety. Together with sounds, this makes the simple process of looting much more enjoyable. Not to forget the new tracks. One for the travel interface, and one, or should I say three, since it's switching between three versions dynamically, for the swamps. Where do I even start with the new content? Simply put, what used to be late game before is now mid game. There is a whole new tier of areas available to explore. They are all extremely dangerous and expect you to use your arsenal to the fullest. I mean it. Don't even think of going in there with nothing but fireballs. There are new enemies to fight, new challenges to deal with, new items to find, including several new books. Not all challenges involve fighting either. Ever thought of playing riddles with a fairy? New recipes to aid in your exploration can be found throughout Tier 2 areas, and even more can be unlocked from the new, much more expansive research tree. From the Whispering Candle that shares secrets with you, to the Potion of Unruly Flame that obliterates even late game enemies. The economy changes completely in the late game, due to new sources of previously scarce materials and new highly useful potions to spend them on. Did I mention there are a lot of new recipes? Let me specify, there's 15. Plus, many of the old recipes that used to feel lackluster become almost vital when dealing with new challenges. But to reach the late game, first you have to complete the new main quest of making the Elixir of Youth. This multi-stage quest will take you to the sewers underneath the town, and then to the ancient catacombs, where you'll learn the lost alchemical secrets, provided you survive, as neither of the areas is particularly safe. With that done and the potion made, you get two whole rewards: an upgrade to Ricardo's shop, providing you with more varied merchandise, and the access to cartography, which lets you compile map fragments into full maps that let you reach the Tier 3 areas. With how long the main quest can take, it's not unusual to see several in-game months or even a year pass, which is great because you will see the seasons change. That's right, now there are seasons in the game. light snow and rain in the spring, rains and sun in the summer, and heavy blizzards during the winter. I hope it feels as cozy for you as it does for me. But don't get the impression that you'll have to play for a prolonged time to see something new. Some changes can be seen as soon as you start the game, like the updated areas around the town wall or guests visiting Ricardo's tavern. If you ever felt like there's not enough people to talk to in this game, there you have it, enjoy. Just be aware that they all have different intentions, and sometimes these intentions involve your money or beer. You can now deep fry the game, or more likely adjust the brightness contrast and saturation if it looks too dark, which was a recurring complaint for quite some time. You can now unequip the potions. That was one feature that I never considered myself, but apparently people find it useful, so there you go. Now, if you try to use an item from the hotbar that you don't have in your inventory, you get a warning and a sound. I wasn't exactly happy to learn that there were still bugs in the game, despite all the testing before, but what can you do? The only positive is knowing that now there's fewer of them. I think I mentioned fixing the fire performance in one of the previous updates. Turns out I was wrong. I made it better, but I never truly fixed it. Now finally, this particular room forced me to look into it properly, otherwise the whole dungeon would be lagging like hell. And now I can confidently say that it no longer does, and neither do large forest fires. So, that's mostly it. Thank you for making it this far. I only have a few more things to say. I spent the whole last month playtesting, which meant playing the game over and over and over, and fixing whatever issues I could find. I would like to thank my friends who helped me with the process. I learned a lot from watching them play. Fun fact, it took around 12 hours for my friend to mostly complete the game, with me backseating him. So if you're looking for estimates of how long it would take you, consider this the lower boundary. That's one run, of course. During my playtesting, I 100%ed the game at least twice, not to mention many shorter runs that I interrupted earlier, and I'm still somehow not sick of it. The game is out, and there is a launch discount on both platforms. I worked hard to make this moment a reality, and I intend to continue. So go play it.